Decide is what to do with the time that is given to you. You won't get to choose how long you're here. You won't know how many sunrises you have left. You don't get to rewind, pause, or skip the hard chapters. All you get is now. This moment, this breath, and most people waste it, waiting for the perfect timing, for clarity, for permission. They wake up in lives that don't feel like theirs, surrounded by people who don't really see them, and wonder why nothing ever changes. But time doesn't ask if you're ready. It moves, with or without you. So ask yourself, if this is the only life you get, what are you going to do with it? Who do you want to be when no one's watching? What are you building? And why does it matter? Because one day, this time you're living in will become the memory someone else holds. And all that will be left are the choices you made and the moments you were brave enough to really live.
I'm willing and able to do these type of things for you. But ultimately, you know, my life isn't designed for the traditional situation. I don't work up the road and I can't be home at the crib every night at 6 p.m.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. Absolute stress that this is going to cool down. I'm so hungry. I need to eat this, people. Oh my God. Get it on the plate. Get it done. Get it on there. Masterpiece here, guys. Apologies for the washing machine in the background, but meal one is ready. I need to eat this ASAP because not only am I painfully hungry, but I'm so worried this is going to go cold. Fucking hell. So, we have 170 grams of sourdough, of which half is olive and rosemary sourdough from Tesco's Finest. Honestly, if you don't know, get to know. That's a little treat, but the same calories as normal sourdough, so we're gonna take it. We're then adding on top some sauerkraut, just for digestive purposes to help the gut microbiome. On a high day, veg is kept super low, so I'm just adding in a little bit of sauerkraut to help with digestion. We've then got 125 grams of cooked weight chicken on top, some banana on the other slices, and 25 grams of organic single origin honey with a bit of cinnamon. I can't talk anymore, I need to get this in. I am so hungry. So I'm gonna tuck into this and then we'll catch up properly after the first meal. We have also got ESN collagen peptides with glutamine and all of the morning health subs to go down with that. Oh my God. The flavor profile of that mouth, unbelievable. I've also forgot the 10 grams of organic grass-fed butter in this first meal. Just a few additional fats in there just to ensure we're not absolutely blitzing through this at a ridiculous rate. I cannot tell you how good that tastes. The olive and rosemary sourdough with the garlic chicken, the sauerkraut, the butter, which makes it a bit creamy, with a very slight dashing of sriracha mayo, relatively low calories, is just insane. This is the best meal of the week, by a long shot. Just try this meal. Go find those exact ingredients, put it together, get it on your plate. I've now got to sit here and realise I'm not going to have that for another 7 days. And now we're on to the kind of sweeter part of the meal. So you get that kind of savoury part of the meal with the chicken, the sauerkraut, and now onto like the dessert, which is honey, cinnamon, and banana. Another sensational combo that if you're yet to try, you need to try. Okay, people, so that is meal one polished off, and that has sat so well. Serious hit of dopamine, my favorite meal of the week and of the day. But I've realized I haven't even introed the video. So you would have seen this morning we weighed in at 98.2 kilos, which is a matched prep low, following a few days pulling back on expenditure, no cardio, and my body is back down to this scale weight, but with more detail, looking fresher, which is super exciting. So my body should respond extremely well to the high day today. A huge quad session on the cards, and then we will return to digging as of tomorrow. So I wanted to take you through the high day today because it's not something I've done this entire prep, and we have been running this high day every single Monday on my quad day to retain performance and retain fullness in the legs. It has been a phenomenal approach. This whole prep has been very push and pull. So we push and we push hard, but then we regularly pull back on expenditure, bring up food on these leg days, and it's working really well right now. The body's feeling fresh as a result of that, which is really, really important within a prep. So I would have put the macros and the calories on the screen for that first meal. Apologies, it was a little rushed. I was scared that meal was going to cool down. And every meal is super important right now, as you know. So I wanted to get that in as soon as possible. We have added a little bit of fats to that first meal, which wasn't there prior in the organic grass-fed butter. This is to trial this food source ready for loading in peak week. Super dense in volume, and it's sitting really well and just makes the sourdough taste even better. So that is being trialed now, but the remainder of the day is completely biased to carbohydrates, so you won't really see fats present in the next kind of 2 to 3 meals, and then just fats re-implemented again in that pre-bev meal. So I'm going to take you through the full day of eating. I need to get on a call right now with ESM. We have a weekly athlete call, then rolling straight onto a consultation call, and then into morning check-in. So a very busy morning. So I will meet you guys for meal number 2, which is the pre-workout meal. I'm sure you probably know what it's going to be, but I'll meet you back there anyway. The biggest lifesaver from Engineered Muscle, a salt dispenser. Each click dispenses 0.5 grams of salt. We are here chefing up the pre-workout meal about an hour before I eat this, because we have cream of rice in which needs to go into the freezer because I much prefer it cold. We have banana ESN designer whey isolate going in with custard cream of rice, and I will see you back in about an hour once this is cooled down to give you a full breakdown of the meal. It is time for the pre-workout meal, and it is so hot in the UK today, and I've kind of left this in here too long because I was busy doing check-ins. So it's pretty solid, but it's going to be nice because it's going to cool me down. That is why I like to have it out of the freezer, because it's super cold. It's like a dessert, and it's really nice when it's really hot outside as well. So we are going to add the toppings, which is a banana. How would you have your bananas, people? This is like the minimum for me. I'm a brown banana kind of guy. I don't like green bananas at all. So they need to be like a minimum of this brownness. Let me know, because I'm sure some people will think the absolute opposite. So let's run you through what we've got here. Exact numbers right here. We have an 80-gram banana. We have 40 grams of whey isolate. Why isolate? Because we're trying to minimize fat content on a high day so we can prioritize carbohydrates, ensure there's no slowing of GI transit time so we can get that uptake of carbohydrates as quickly as possible, maximize digestive efficiency. We've then got some cinnamon over the top purely for flavor, and then also 150 grams of cream of rice. Custard cream of rice with banana whey isolate. Sensational combination. So I'm going to chop this banana up now, get that placed all pretty over the top, and then we're going to sit down with this pre-workout meal and watch Martin Fitz Water Train legs, which is exactly what I've got today to get my head in the game. I will typically have this about an hour before I train, maybe even 45 minutes, because due to there being no fat content in this meal, the GI clearance is going to be a lot quicker. I don't overly love showing you guys a high day. People love seeing a high day, but I almost feel guilty because the nutritional content of a high day is typically much lower. We don't add any vegetables really. There isn't as much color or fiber to the meals because we are trying to maximize digestive efficiency. We are purely just trying to prioritize carbohydrates. And we're also picking sources that are relatively dense in volume. And we typically repeat sources that we know sit extremely well. So it's not the most interesting of day of eatings in comparison to the normal training day, but people love to see a high day. So let's get this over to the pre-workout viewing. Sensational. You know the drill, guys. I'm going to watch this video. I'm going to eat this, get my head in the game, and then I will see you pre-workout before I train legs. So that is the pre-workout meal deleted, and it is sat perfectly as expected. And I'm actually going to sit here and write out my logbook for the leg session today, because we have a brand new logbook. We have finally come to the end of the previous one. Hundreds of progressive sessions written in here. So I'm going to put that upstairs with all of the other logbooks I have kept ever since I started logbooking 4 years ago. I have like 7 or 8 up there, and it's really satisfying to look back and see how training has progressed over the past few years. I always like to set goals at the start of each logbook and write them in the front, tick them off, or tick as many as I can off. So we're going to sit here and do the same for this new logbook right at the session. Really gives me an opportunity to visualize what I need to do, the numbers that I need to hit, especially as it starts to become more challenging deeper into prep. And I have become more flexible with the logbook approach the further I've got into my training and the more experienced I've become. This is such an invaluable feedback tool to give you information on whether you are doing enough volume, not doing enough volume, on your recovery capacities, and just give you so much useful data to drive decision making with your process. I feel like everybody should track to a degree. You should never be married to this. I've definitely been married to it in the past and just been very blindsided by progressive overload. But as we know, progressive overstimulus is way more important. So I just use this with a more flexible approach and use this as a guide to what numbers I need to use for exercises, and I'll kind of typically track the majority of the compound work and then be a little bit more flexible when it comes to isolation work, and also be open to auto-regulate on the day if I need to, based on how the body is feeling and the feedback it's giving me. But super valuable tool. So I'm going to write this session out, head to the gym, and see you for the pre-workout and intra-workout supplementation, which obviously includes some calories. Okay, people, we are outside the gym, ready to train legs. So I thought I'd run you through my intra-workout nutrition. I treat this like a meal. You wouldn't sit and eat a meal for 2.5 hours, so you shouldn't sip on your intra-workout throughout the entire session. You want to treat this like a meal so you get that spike of amino acids and quick uptake of carbohydrates. In here, we have 50 grams of highly brown cyclic dextrin paired with 20 grams of essential aminos, and then also 15 grams of creatine monohydrate, because the current literature is actually showing that upwards of 15 grams provides even more of the stated benefits that creatine brings. So I'm going to make the most of that because there is no drawbacks to going slightly higher. So we are going to consume this around about 45 minutes to an hour into the session, like a meal, relatively quickly. I may film a few top sets here today just to break up the video so it isn't simply me eating. I'll also put the totals of this intro up on the screen. So I may bring you in there. It's Bank Holiday Monday. I fear it's going to be very busy, but hopefully I can get my headphones in, minimize distractions, and really enjoy the session and take it all the way there. We have no room for error at this point. The legs are feeling good. I'm feeling fresh. So I'm going to go in, mobilize. The pre-workout is hitting. So let's have a big leg day, and I will meet you for the post-workout meal. 3, 2, 1. Yeah, nice. Yeah, that's the arrow. Come on then. Come on then, Aaron. And then slow down. Come on then.
Ready, yeah? Keep it like that, Aaron. Slow. Yep. Come on then. Yep. Come on then, fight against it. Will you still? Can't see yet, let's go again. Let's go again then.
Another leg session done, another leg session closer. A very solid session today. The pump was outrageous. Performance was solid, matched majority of sets, a few rep progressions, but at the sacrifice for improved stimulus, which I will always take. I could definitely feel the drop in body weight today, the stability or the energy I had to use to stabilize myself in some of those bigger movements was so taxing. So you have to understand that as body weight comes down, your ability to create that external brace is going to diminish, and therefore energy is used up trying to stabilize and may take away from performance slightly. But we absolutely maximize stimulus. The best pump I've had in a very long time. So very, very happy with that session. Duplication glitch. It is the same as the pre-workout meal, just an extra 10 grams of cream of rice. So just to remind you, I told you this day was going to be boring. 80 grams of banana, cinnamon, 160 grams of cream of rice, 40 grams of whey isolate. Again, ensuring there is no fat within this meal. We know the glucose transporter GLUT4 gets massively heightened within 45 minutes to an hour post-workout. So your body's ability to shuttle carbs as glycogen and replenish glycogen stores is going to be higher. So it makes sense to place the biggest bout of carbohydrates post-workout to facilitate that process. I've done about 10 minutes waddling on the treadmill, trying to switch to that PNS, that parasympathetic rest and digest state. We're now out in the beautiful sun, sitting here ready to enjoy this meal. So I'm going to put the macros up on the screen as always. You know the contents, and I will see you for the next meal later on.
3 weeks and 6 days out. Today is going to be a high day.
Okay people, it is time for the penultimate meal, and I'm bracing myself for some hate on this one. But as always, with any food, don't knock it until you try it. I don't know if Dan intended for this fruit to be placed within the savoury meal, but we're doing it because it works and it tastes so nice. That might be prep brain, or it might actually be a sensational combo. In this here, let's grab you, let's show you. We're about to tuck into this creation here. I prefer having it cold. It does work warm if I cook the bananas in the pan, caramelize them. But this meal here is 150 grams raw weight, 5% beef mince, 125 grams raw weight jasmine rice, and then we have 80 grams of banana on top. I'm not meant to put vegetables in there, but I have put in some white onion and kimchi, just once again for gut health and flavor profile. So this is the next meal. I'm going to tuck into this. Honestly, it tastes good, man, with the banana on there. You need to try it. Banana in chicken and rice or beef and rice. Give it a go. So I'm going to put all of the totals up on the screen as always. I'm fucking knackered. I've got no work left. I'm just chilling, relaxing, getting these final meals in. And just focusing on recovery now after that big leg day. So I will meet you for the final meal pre-bed. So what I find the banana does is it adds a bit of creaminess to the meal. Very, very good. So people, it is time for the final meal of the day, which is quite literally gonna send me to sleep. I am absolutely knackered. I'm gonna show you what we've got in front of me. A sensational bowl of goats, which is exactly 125 grams of Flahaven's organic jumbo oats with 40 grams of whey isolate, 20 grams of almond butter, and then 100 grams of frozen berries. Doesn't get much better than that. So slightly higher fats in this final meal to just slow that rate of digestion overnight and hopefully we're going to wake up a little fuller in the morning. I'm checking in with Dan tomorrow just to see the visual effects that this high day has. I normally wake up a similar scale weight, even though it's a high day, just because I absolutely blitz through it in that leg day. So super excited to see that. I will put the macros up on the screen, and then I will wrap up this video with the totals before I go to bed. Okay, people, so that brings us to the end of the high day. So I'm going to put the totals of all of the meals to the right of me here. So we have a grand total of 238 grams of protein, 700 grams of carbs, and 46 grams of fat, which is roughly about 4,000 calories. So I'm now finishing up with my sleep concoction with all of the nighttime health sups as well. We've got melatonin, magnesium, ashwagandha, curcumin, solid joints, omegas, all to go down with this sleep drink. And I've got some recovering to do tonight. I've got a feeling I'm going to have some serious DOMs tomorrow. As I mentioned, super excited to see the visuals. So I'm going to wrap this up here. I hope you guys enjoyed watching me eat all of those meals today. And that brings us to the end of another episode. So as always, if you are not subscribed, make sure you're subscribed. Like the video, let me know down in the comments below what video you would like to see next within this series, as I haven't got it planned yet. And either way, I will see you in the next one.